You know, it's amazing what a little time and perspective can do for you. To think that, you know, sometimes I play these terrible games, and why do I go back to these games? Why do I go back to the source of these just awful, awful things that I've been playing? And then, you know, you play something like maybe a game that you control with your voice, and then you go back to those other games, and you think, oh wow, this is great. I'm using a controller. You know, I press the analog stick and the character moves like that, and man, things are looking bright. I'm gonna take a big whiff of that. That smells so good, even though it may have smelled like garbage to me previously. It smells so good to me now, and that's what we're smelling right now with the Xbox Creators Collection. It's been a little while since we've returned to the land of Xbox indie games. And, you know, I'm a bit hard on it by saying, you know, that it's a source of terrible games. There are good games on it. I mean, there are some attempts that are pretty impressive. You know, we have seen some things where I would say, hey, look at that. That's like a real game on this service. And not every time. Maybe not this time. As we look at Jaden and the Lost Starfruit, it's by Gooder Games. And if this game is gooder, then I'm interested in trying it out. What's it about? Well, upon reading this description, I had to download it. Can't actually select the description, that's fine. Description box says, ever wanted to explore North Korea as a super soldier who fights off evil? Here's your chance. Fight off bad guys and get past difficult obstacles. Meet the greatest man of all time, the Dinkster, and his son, Eric. You know, it's amazing what a few lines can do for you to make you interested in playing a game. Specifically, the last line about meeting the greatest man of all time, the Dinkster, and his son, Eric. Reading that line, I had to try this out. I think this game was free. Pretty sure it did not cost money. Memory's kind of hazy with all these indie games, but I don't think it did. We're going to play Jaden and the Lost Starfruit. Just start it up. There's a Starfruit right on the screen. What is a Starfruit? It's that, and we have to get it. So how do we play? Well, first I can press any button to switch into controller mode. What? I don't know, maybe it's a mobile game? And I have to press a button so I can play with a controller? Maybe that's how this works. Well, how do I play? I learn how to play by pressing left on the D-pad for some reason. Here we go. Move around the map. Find the Lost Starfruit. Collect it. When we have Lost Starfruit in portable form, use the portal, move on to the next level, collect all the Starfruit level, gain extra life. There's a portal of Starfruit. All you need. You don't need anything else. We're going to start the timer. 8 minutes, just like on XSplig. Start this game. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Now, this character that we are, do you think that's the Dinkster or his son, Eric? I'm going to go with his son. Kind of looks like a kid. And I'm assuming this guy up here, that's probably the Dinkster. We can, like, step on him and nothing happens. Or I can win the level. I can beat the level. There's spikes. I gotta watch out for those spikes. Yeah, there we go. I beat that level. Me. I did it. The son of the greatest man in the world. How do you suppose you get the nickname the Dinkster? What do you suppose you do to get people to call you that? And it's not like an insult. It's they mean it reverently when they call you the Dinkster. By the way, if you're wondering, is there a problem with the audio in this video? No. There's no problem with the audio in this recording. You're hearing the game. That's what the game sounds like. Look, there's something to be said about how... Oh, I died. Just like that. It could come at any time. Not even the Dinkster's son is immune from the sharp pointiness of death. Yeah, you're hearing what this game sounds like. And oh, I died again. And sometimes the most powerful sound of all is the sound of silence. I died again. My head hit the side of that spike. Look, even though only one part of the spike looks pointy, actually, it's pointy on all sides. It's just that the points on the other sides are invisible. Okay. Down here, get that. Up here, all right, through that. Let's see. Probably want to jump on that platform. Like that, there we go. Now, you might wonder, why does Eric... I died. Why does Eric have to collect the Starfruit? How did the Starfruit become scattered, become lost? What is the backstory that explains what the quest is and who the Dinkster is? Why is the Dinkster not doing this himself if he's the greatest man in the world? Why is he leaving this to his son? I'm sure that we'll be getting a prequel at some point to fill in the story, fill in the lore. Like what we're doing right now is what's known as in medias res, when you start in the middle of the story. It's a technique used by some great works of art. This is just the latest of those. There's something profound about the only sound in the game being the tapping of the buttons on the controller. Oh, I don't know if that would hurt me. You know, it tells me that I'm in control of my own actions. Me. I live and die based on my hand dexterity, on how well I push these buttons. Oh, and how well I thread the needle. Come on, Eric, thread the needle. I hear the tap of the D-pad as I try to make sure that I do not get impaled by these. Oh, and I failed. My thumb dexterity was not enough to save Eric. But I do get another chance. Will I prevail this time? Again, the silence pounds into my skull that really it's all up to me. Not up to anyone else, not up to any of the obstacles that are on this level, not up to any opponent in a multiplayer game. Me. I control my own destiny, and I succeed or fail based on what I do. That's why single-player games are so much more powerful than multiplayer games. With multiplayer games, you lose and you can blame an opponent. But with a game like this, you know that there's no one else you can blame. You know that the only one who's responsible for your own faults is you. And I say, no, it's surely the controls or that the Dinkster is not helping his son. That's the reason that I'm dying. But no, I know deep down, I know it's not any of those things. I know it's me. It was always me. I was always my worst enemy. And that's what Jaden and the Lost Starfruit is teaching me. Wait, it is called Jaden and the Lost Starfruit, right? Who's Jaden? I thought we were talking about the Dinkster and Eric. Are we Jaden? Maybe we haven't actually met Eric. I completed the beta. It took me almost 5 minutes to win. I didn't collect all the Starfruit, but I should come back soon because new things are being added all the time. Good new things. There's like a button for OK, and next to it is an X prompt, a prompt to press the X button. Okay. What are the cheat codes? Oh, I can't access those cheat codes. It looks like I need a mouse to click on that button that said cheat codes, because with the controller, I can't do anything. Well, that's Jaden and the Lost Starfruit beta by Arthur Hofer and Dallas Roberts. It makes me realize things about myself. It makes me realize I can't blame others for my own faults. It makes me realize I have to take control of my own destiny, just like I took control of Eric, or possibly Jaden, whoever this was, to gain the Starfruit. Once I overcame my inner demons and realized that I was the one holding myself back. Thanks, Arthur and Dallas. Thank you. I stare at Chapter 1 of the Super Test, or possibly the Super Test Chapter 1, whichever way you want to call it. It could go either way. And I think about the realizations I had about myself with the Starfruit, and I wonder, is it time to put myself to the test? The Super Test. Welcome to Chapter 1 of the Super Test. We can challenge ourselves and our friends, if we have them, with 12 exhilarating levels with a complex third-person character system that present new and different challenges, or so it says. We need to take leaps of faith and avoid falling objects, whilst paying attention to the existence of the platform that you are standing on. It's very deep. We have to pay attention to the existence, not only of our own existence, but the existence at the ground we are standing on. It has addictive and frustrating gameplay, yet satisfying moments in Chapter 1 of the Super Tests. Apparently, that's what it says. It's also capable of HDR in the middle column. You see that? This apparently can do HDR. You probably wouldn't know it once you see it, but it says it can. I want to know if I can pass the Super Test, and I will find out. Can I pass it in 8 minutes? And technically, the game hasn't started yet, but I clicked on the timer anyway. This Super Test, play, help, no other options. Why would you need anything else? You're going to find out how experienced I am when handling a controller. I could become the ultimate master by completing the 12 levels. I could, if I wanted to. Do I want to? I don't know, but here I am. I have to cross the... Oh no, I died. There's a timer, not only my timer, but the game has a timer. No, this is no game. This is a test. It's a test of my skills, of all the years that I've been playing video games. I always thought, I hope someday I am not put to the test where I have to prove all of the time that I spent playing video games, all of the time I spent of my life playing these games. I have to prove that it wasn't all a waste. I have to prove that I have the skills to do... okay. You know, I'm going to say the character just kind of bounced off the platform right there, because I didn't press jump, but I can't blame the game. I can't blame the test. If I was truly a game master, I would have predicted that. You see, the Super Test is not just about what you do, what you press. It's about being able to predict what's going to happen with the physics in this game. When you jump from one platform to the next, can you guess? Well, I finished that level. I have to jump. I have to evade the walls. Touching the walls is death. Touching the red floor is death. I have to stay on the platforms. Just stay on them. Apparently, the point of this game is that you get some friends together and then you see who is the best at controllers. And you know, I'm just going to say that if you get a bunch of friends together and the only thing you have to do is play the Super Test, you really need to have a discussion with your friends. You need to get together and say, what are we doing? Why do we never seem to have anything to do? We're just sitting around the TV playing the Super Test. And it seems like we should have something that's actually the point of the Super Test. The point of the Super Test is to get you to examine your friendships, your relationships, the people that you're close with in your life. And you have to decide, are we really friends? What do we really do together? Do we really like each other? Or do we just cling to each other because we're afraid of being alone? It's like, I don't want to think that I don't have friends. I don't want to think that I'm like an unlikable person. So look at this. I have these friends, but do I really like them? Do they really like me? Am I just afraid that maybe I don't have any friends? Am I just afraid of what that would mean if I'm just a person who's destined to be alone? I can't do that. I can't be that. I have to be a popular person. I have to be a person who has a social life. Even if that social life is just getting together with friends and playing the Super Test. Chapter 1. Is that the real test? Because I'm winning these levels, but I have to wonder if I'm winning the test. What is the Super Test making me think about myself? It's making me reevaluate the friendships I've had over the course of my life. Thinking about the things that I used to do when I got together with my friends. and making me think about, why did we get together? Why did we spend all this time together? Was it because we really liked each other, or was it because, hey, I don't want to be alone? And here's this person who likes some of the interests that I have. Like, this person likes playing video games. We can get together and play video games. It doesn't mean that we're necessarily close as people, but at least I'm not alone. But maybe I would be alone if the only game we had to play was the super test. And I would realize, man, these people I'm with, I can't stand them. All we do every day when we get together is play the super test and try to challenge each other to beat each other's times, challenge each other to become the king of controller. But I don't want to be the king of controller. I'm satisfied just being like the baron of controller. The count of controller actually is catchier because they both begin with like a cuss sound. Oh. Or the Duke of D-pad, you might call yourself that. But the king, I don't know. I don't know if I'm up to it. I don't know if that's really how I want to spend my time. And sometimes you realize that you've grown apart from people. That all these hours and hours and hours you've spent with each other trying to play the Super Test Chapter 1 has just resulted in you falling apart. Oh my god, that was incredible timing. Anyway, here the floor is yellow now. We still don't want to fall off it like that. And maybe the platforms just represent just like the social interactions we have, the foibles as you try to jump from platform to social platform. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you make a really good impression, sometimes you miss, and everyone thinks you're a big loser. No one wants to be around you, someone who tries to jump on platforms but falls off. No one wants to be around that person. So you try to get better. But you can't succeed all the time. You can't. I've tried. It doesn't work. And like, I'm hovering in the air. Like, when I hovered in the air right there, that was just because, like, I knew I was going to fall and my life was flashing before my eyes. My social life. That's also the reason why this character is untextured. Because the textures are just based... You fill in the textures based on what you think people want of you. You have no textures yourself. You're willing to say, what do people want me to be? What textures do they want me to have? I'll have those textures, just don't leave me alone. I want to be a likable person. And I'll color myself in with the colors you need me to have. It makes you wonder if there is such a thing really as friendship, or do we just fulfill each other's need to not be alone? Is that just like a mutual favor we all do each other? I don't want to be alone, neither do you. We don't have to like each other, but we can at least keep each other company. Well, the time's almost up. This has been the Super Test, and I failed once again. By the way, Chapter 1 of the Super Test cost $3.59. Who sells a product for 59 cents? Why? Anyway, next one is Bifrost Battle. This is by Really Cool Games. Well, we'll see just how cool it is. The description says that there is a war coming to Asgard. Tyr, the god of war, must defend Asgard by making his stand on the Bifrost. Join Tyr as he battles his way through the Bifrost on his quest for victory. An epic 3D side-scroller. You have to prove that we have what it takes. Do we have what it takes? We're going to find out in Bifrost Battle. So, made with Unity. Okay, there we go. Game is starting. And it's by Really Cool Games, as we had established. bensound.com, doing the music, a living website. It's remarkable. Images by Pixabay. Some 3D models provided by Mixamo.com. Only some of them. Only the good ones. Only the really cool ones. Here's the title screen. Is it supposed to look like that? I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess we'll know once we start the game. Speaking of starting the game, I'm going to start the timer, and we're going to start the game. All right, we got some action going on. Some intense action. Look at this guy. This guy's jacked. We can't go that way. We have to go across the road. We can punch. We can pick up this axe, and I could swing the axe. Can't punch while I'm wielding the axe, however, it seems. I assume that the axe is more powerful than the punches. Let's see. I can block. I can sort of crouch. And I can jump. These are all things I can do as I run across the Bifrost, having to reach Asgard so I can defend it from these invaders. There's only one way to run. Since we're on a road, there's only two directions, and we're coming from one of them. So, all we can do is just keep on going to the right. That makes it simple. Don't have to choose any paths, because there's only one path. And plenty of enemies along the way for us to fell with our mighty battle axe and pick up health as we go. I can jump, but okay, no, I can do a jumping attack. I don't know if that actually does any additional damage. Oh, I didn't do a jumping attack that time. It just seems like it's probably good enough just to stand here and flail with my axe. Seems like we can just do that and it'll be fine. There we go. I lost some health, but hey, I can pick up more health and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. These wretches, these mortals, think they can invade the sacred place of Asgard, home of the gods. Well, they cannot. I am a god, I am of the divine, and these lowly mortals are not able to touch... Well, they can touch me, but... I mean, they're not killing me so far. And here I was about to say, isn't the Bifrost supposed to be a rainbow bridge? There's no rainbow, but here we go. We got some rainbow action going on right now. Just to remind me. We run across the cosmos. And we fight... Oh, it's kind of like a tyrant, sort of. Is the storyline that Asgard is actually being invaded by Umbrella? Like, that's the twist when we get to the end of it. They're invading Asgard because they want to collect the DNA of the gods to make some kind of divine tyrant. That is the plot line. I'm just going to say that's the plot line to Bifrost Battle. And that if we made it to the end of the game, surely we would experience the twist. But we don't have enough time for that. Unless I just ran past everyone. Can I do that? Yeah, it seems like I can. They're continuing to follow me. But doesn't seem like there's really much of a problem with just running past them. Yeah, I mean, they're all still following me, it looks like. But they can't really stop me from running past them. Can't. Oh, there's like something in the background. There's like an elder one. A great old one. Maybe they're the ones invading Asgard. I'm always down for some Elder God action. You can take that however you want. Here's a boss. Oh, okay. So, okay. All right, let's do this thing. Let's get in with our battle axe. And did I die? Yeah. Okay. Yes, I died. We were no match for all of those mortals all at once. Not all together. It just goes to show that even when you have to face impossible odds, and I'm talking about the invaders here, If you work together, you work as a group, you can overcome any odds. You can even kill a god. Remember, if you make friends, you establish bonds that last a lifetime, you too can kill a god. Don't think you can't. Dream big. Kill a god. It says I can press A to restart, but that's okay. I think that would ruin the story that we made for ourselves here in Bifrost Battle. The story was that Tyr, the god of war, in his arrogance, in his hubris, decided to take on all of these invaders at once, and he was felled by his conceit. That is the story that we made for ourselves, and trying again would ruin this emergent storytelling that has happened here in Bifrost Battle. I wouldn't want to ruin our story that we made together. I'll just leave it at that. Bifrost Battle, I'll just leave it at that. This game cost $1.99. Our fourth and final game on this visit to the Xbox Creators Collection is Granny Theft Auto Reloaded. It says it's by Silent Bob, but if you look at that logo, you look at that text, you know who made this. You can guess. We've seen that before. The description says that we have to help Granny get bran muffins and explore the big city. And who's it by? You know who. It's Archer Games. Who else did you think it was? You could tell by that logo. I guess you don't have to actually put your actual name as the developer when you upload a game. You can just say you're Silent Bob instead of who you actually are, so I guess you can do that. Pretty sure Archer Games have used a few different names at this point for their developer names as they've posted different games. But this is the game that we're playing now, Granny Theft Auto Reloaded. This costs 99 cents. And let me start the timer, because it's time for Granny to go out into the big city and get some bran muffins. Let's get them. Oh, the camera turns so slowly. Oh, yeah. Look at that frame rate. If you experience motion sickness from games, I'm just going to suggest maybe don't watch this full screen. Maybe put it in a window and back away from the monitor. I'm going to say possibly that would be good for you. But for what's good for Granny, she's going to get in her car, go out for a day on the town. What she's doing. Here we go. Gonna collect giant bran muffins. You just can't find... Oh, I stopped because I hit that pole. Hold on. I'm having trouble getting out. Hold on, maybe just get out. Maybe just get out. Hello? Hello, sir? Sir, you have... Oh, there you go. Okay. Everything's better. But what if we want that motorcycle? Actually, I want that motorcycle. Here we go. Now Granny's riding a real hog. Getting bran muffins. Running over pedestrians who could say, Granny don't care. This is her day. Her day on the town. This is for her, not for you. I don't know if we actually hit that guy. It didn't seem like he had a reaction. But that's fine. It's not about him. It's not about his reaction. Riding on the sidewalk? Why not? There's like nothing really to do, is there? I mean, I can collect the bran muffins when they appear. I don't know if that does anything. There's not like a counter or anything, is there? Saying how many bran muffins I got? Doesn't really look like it. But that's fine. It's fine. Because you know what Granny Theft Auto Reloaded has to teach us? It's to teach us a lesson that it's not always about you. It's not always about what you want. You might say, why are we doing this? Why are we wasting our time with Granny Theft Auto by Archer Games? Hold on, I'm going to take this police car. Granny's always wanted to drive a police car. Here we go. Out of here, you. And you might say, yeah, why are we doing this? Well, the answer is that this is what Granny wants to do, and maybe it doesn't matter what you want to do. Maybe you're not so important. You ever think about that? Maybe that's just why you don't understand. See, Granny gets to go on her countryside adventure, and she's so happy that the frame rate increases to 60 FPS. See, the frame rate, you thought that was just a technical issue, the bad frame rate. Actually, what it turned out to be was that the frame rate represents Granny's mood. And the happier she is, the smoother the frame rate gets. And, I mean, aren't we all like that? Where you feel sometimes that life in the city is overwhelming, trying to keep up with things, with your job, with your adult life. And it feels like your own personal frame rate, the frame rate of your life, is starting to get choppy. You're not enjoying your life as much as you could. But then you get into a police car, drive out into the ocean, and I guess off the end of the world is where you do that, and you're happy, and your frame rate gets real smooth, and you enjoy life. But now you're back in the big city, your vacation's over, and you have to get back to, your usual job, and your mental frame rate starts to slow down. And we all can relate to that. Sure. Yeah, sure. I don't think we have any attack buttons or anything. Like, I can jump, but why? Is there anything I need to jump over? I don't know. I do like how the camera sways side to side like that. It really gives you the sensation that you're running along with Granny. Let's see if Granny can catch up to that school bus. I bet she can. She's quite a runner. Almost there. Granny wants to hijack a school bus. And who are you to say no? Who are you to say that she can't do that? Don't tell her what she can't do. Almost. There we go. Out of here. It's the same guy who's driving every car. He has a lot of jobs. Alright, here's the school bus. Did I get out? Yep, I got out of the school bus. Press the button to get out. I'm ghost riding the bus. Didn't expect Granny to do that. I'm like pressing buttons, seeing if he can do anything or honk the horn. No, it doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like anything's happening. Oh, but I can hit like the cop car. Like there's actual collision on that. I feel like we've learned so much from the Xbox Creators Collection this week. We learned... What did we learn? It was a lot. It was a lot. We learned that first... Well, we learned about... We have to question the nature of our relationships, right? We have to do that. And wonder what is the real reason that we hang out with the people we hang out with. Is it because we really like them, or is it just because we're afraid? But then if we realize that if we have true friendship, what can we do? If we have true friendship and we have the true bonds of trust with our friends, we gain the power to even kill a god with friendship. But we have to remember it's not always about ourselves. It's not always about what we want to do with our video games. Sometimes you have to put your own needs aside, set them aside, and recognize that sometimes you're gonna have to let Granny do what she wants. And maybe that means that playing Granny Theft Auto Reloaded, like driving a school bus in the countryside that we stole. Even though you're wondering why I don't know why I'm doing. Can I knock it over? Can I knock the bus over? No, it seemed like it was almost going to do that. It was not. Didn't happen. But, no matter how much Granny is enjoying this trip out in the countryside, it all has to end eventually, and it looks like we are going to end ours in a few seconds. So, I hope you enjoyed this excursion with me out to the countryside where they grow those Xbox Creator Collection games. They're grown, not made, you understand. They're not programmed, they're coaxed out of the soil. Archer Games and the rest of these developers are experts at taking a little seedling of code and coaxing it until it becomes a game that you can buy on an Xbox One. And these games have a lot to teach us about ourselves, our relationships, our struggles, if we only take the time to listen. If we only took the time to listen. So I'm glad that you spent the last, 40 minutes, probably, something like that, listening with me. Listening to what the Xbox Creators Collection games have to tell us. Is that a loop-de-loop over there? Alright, I know we ran out of time, but I guess I have to do it with the school bus. And sometimes, no matter what games, even though games like this can teach us a lot about ourselves, sometimes you just want to go through the loop with a school bus and see if you can do it. I don't know. We weren't. I don't think the school bus can get up to that speed. And as we slow down to a halt, so too does this video of the Xbox Creators Collection. I'll see you another time for more Xbox Indie Gems.